All right, this is Dr. Gutierrez again, and today what we're actually going to be doing is reviewing how do we go about conducting assistive technology assessments, right? So that way you have a basic principle. So one of the main things is that there's usually a request, right? Usually from a parent or maybe the education specialist or someone, and we have to remember child find law, which means that anyone can technically request types of assessments for students and with disabilities or students that don't have disabilities. And it can even be students that are in preschool to children that are in the elementary level or, at any age prior to the age of 22. So once we know that part, there does need to be, so I'm going to go ahead and put here that there needs to be first a request. We have to also consider child find law. And then there also needs to be an assessment plan, okay, that needs to be signed by the parent. And then there is a process that in general is followed. And this process really means this part right here, which is first, whoever the person that's actually conducting the assessment wants to review the student's documentation, their grades, their IEP, their assessments in detail. And I mean really, really review it. And then the I, which stands for interview. Okay, so you want to make sure that you interview the student and ask the student, what are their interests? What does he or she like? Maybe they would be embarrassed to have some type of maybe Alpha Smart, even though Alpha Smarts are kind of outdated now, but those kinds of things. So you want to make sure that you're able to interview the student. Is the student responsible? Is the student able to follow through with the technology at home and then also bringing it back to the school? Those things are also very important. Okay, the O stands for observe. So you want to make sure that you have an opportunity to observe, to observe the student. All right, and one of the things that you want to make sure is that you observe the student in their natural setting, which is the classroom. Also, during passing period, during those types of things, and just kind of get to know the student and have documentation there. And then the T stands for, oops, I think my computer's acting up here, is the try, which is now you actually want to try the tool that maybe you're considering for the student. And from there, you actually check it out and see, is this actually working for the student or is it not? And then you want to use a documentation database. So for example, you can use SoundNote, Notability, Evernote, OneNote to document each part of the process. Each time that you do the review, each time that you do the interview, each time that you do the observation, each time that you do the trying part. Okay, so there's also another database called AT Eval to Go, which I also recommend, and that's a good one to help you document as you conduct an assessment. Now, this being said, most education specialists do not do the AT assessments and evaluation. Usually there's someone at the district that has been blessed, so to speak, to do these types of assessments, and usually it's a program specialist, and then also many times who's actually the lead of this, and they'll do the whole riot method, which is the review, the interview, the observe, and the try part, and then report back to the IEP team. And it's important to report to the team prior to the actual meeting so that way you guys are all on the same page of what types of tools that you guys can present to the family. All right, so that's it for this training. And again, this is conducting assistive technology